of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Bengal offense set to go and leading them out. The #1 overall pick back in April out of LSU, Joe Burrow.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now Burrow on first down. He finds his running back, Mixon. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. Tyler Boyd, he's going to go. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd, 76 yards. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And I'll tell you what a bird's-eye view I've got here, because that was absolutely something else to watch. Not a lot of wiggle in that. That was catch it and go, and he used those wheels of his, the absolute devastating effect.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback in his 5th season now, the former #2 overall pick, Carson Wentz.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage, other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 22 carries, 130 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
And this is going to be a Colts first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
1st and 10, Taylor now. The ball is free. Taylor lost it. And the Bengals grab it. And some room to work. Does the big boy have the juice? And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. The numbers for Mixon last week, 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Another try for Mixon. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 40-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
You can almost feel him thinking as he's running the football, just one more block, anything to get me to the perimeter and around the corner. Couldn't quite get there, ends up getting spilled for a loss.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they're likely force a field goal attempt.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and the lead moves to 10-0. Colts, nothing. good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Mixon with a first down carry. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And maybe starting the campaign for another Offensive Player of the Week award in the AFC.
Yeah, strike of the band, right? They're going to lead him along, and the band being that offensive line, he's locked into the rhythm of what they're doing up front. He's definitely off to that great start, a 2nd straight week.
Rodgers on the return. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Taylor. He'll have a first down past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
And 10 at their 48-yard line.
They'll run with Taylor. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards there and a first down.
I know that on draft day, Jonathan Taylor was disappointed he didn't go in the first round, but when he heard his name called in the 2nd round by the Indianapolis Colts, he had to be jumping up and down with excitement because of their big, strong, physical offensive line. And you put that with his downhill running style, and you've got a perfect combination, the perfect storm for a young guy coming into the league. 225 pounds, sub 4.4 at the combine. He's going to get plenty of opportunities to be a battering ram.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line.
No, Jonathan Taylor didn't get the yards he wanted on that carry, but I think this is central casting for him to be with the Colts. A big, strong, physical offensive line that goes with his running style. Elite speed, elite power. I think he'll catch more passes out of the backfield in the NFL than he did at Wisconsin. And yards after contact, that's his forte. The only thing he's got to improve on, taking care of the football. Put it on the ground way too often at Wisconsin. If he learns to hang on to it, he could be one of the surprises in the NFL.
They'll run for it with Hines. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
17-0 our score after 1.
With the score, Bengals 17, Colts nothing.
First down, Taylor. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
He's brought down at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now Wentz on the bootleg, rolling to his right. And this is caught at the end. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Reception there by T.Y. Hilton, and he absolutely terrifies defenses when he gets downfield. Speed, shiftiness, excellent hands. 5 1,000-yard seasons in his career.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run here with Taylor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
The extra point up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
And that's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side. And
got his man complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 35. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
That catch good for only a couple.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 13-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals.
We dominate.
On tape. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
And this one through the uprights and good. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Indy set to go on offense once more. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. People will kiss it on the ground.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Here's Taylor. And he loses the football a second time. And the Bengals grab it. The big fella. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
And look at this. They come right back with a big shot downfield. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it 1 play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Campbell making the catch. And they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll try and run for it. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. They'll run here with Mack. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. TD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, it held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field.
We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So far is the possibility of things loosening up later.
It's caught inside the 25. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Boyd with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Gonzalez to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone.
Set to kickoff.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking deep for Hilton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So touchdowns on their first 2 drives, but looking like that won't be the case here.
Yeah, it looks like someone put their dukes up a little bit, doesn't it? Maybe decided to finally make a stand because those first 2 drives, they got run over. Now, finally, got their feet under them, got a little bit of balance. They're getting off the field.
They do go for it. It's Wentz. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Everyone in the NFL is looking for mismatches, and T. Higgins' size and speed at receiver, that allows him to have those type of mismatches against most defenders. 6'4", ability to flat-out fly. They can use him everywhere, including in the slot. He's a dangerous playmaker and a big-time producer in the red zone.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of the half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range as well, down at the 17-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The final shot before half for Wentz. Looking for Campbell downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. So we reach. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go.
Colts 14.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away.
Set to kick off.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Tackle made by Jesse Bates.
Quick throw here to Hilton. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. Throwing now is Wentz.
Good pickup there by Marlon Mack, and he was a 1,000-yard runner in 2019, and has been very consistent in moving the ball for the Colts. Last 2 seasons, at least 8 touchdowns rushing each year.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
At the 24-yard line.
Now Taylor. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 16-yard line.
They run once more with Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they're going to bring him down just past the 15, and a flag down as well.
Receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down.
Slant pass to Boyd.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. They'll run on first down. Mixon, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously
Looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted.
Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retake center stage.
He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And you have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
Holding. Offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
The give to Taylor. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Throwing on second and long. Wentz, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So here are the Bengals set to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against the Baltimore Ravens, and they have the lead here as well. Try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And a good pickup there by Mixon, and that shows the talent that he has. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, 4th in the NFL in 2018, 9th last year. But I look for those numbers to jump back up again with the introduction of new talent in Cincinnati.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. Mixon with him. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the fourth. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll give him a fresh set of downs. They will throw on first down with Burrow. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On third down, Burrow. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. That's Darius Leonard, the linebacker who got in and got into the turf. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And this is going to be a Colts first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. 7 yards there and a first down.
42-yard line.
They run with Taylor. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On second down, it's Taylor. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The Colts on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Wentz. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he is going to have a Colts first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Going for the deep ball. On Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch, counter, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
6-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. And 7.
Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And they'll get him down up past the 15. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
First down, Bengals.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Mixon. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here to have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Now Burrow. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Carson Wentz in the offense. Down by 10, 1:45 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
On second down, it's Taylor. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Now Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Defense on the coverage.
Wentz to throw. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it with Hines.
And this is going to be a Colts 1st down as good running gets him to about the 44.
One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. Back to throw. Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Wentz. Flushed out right. He'll try it. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick, and that will write a finish to this ball game. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals.